Hey, this is Aaron.
And Blake, we're AB Data.
Thanks for walking through this Alteryx Weekly challenge with us.
In this video, we're talking about Alteryx Weekly Challenge number 233, The Truth is Out There. As always, the Alteryx Weekly Challenge can be found on the Alteryx community page under Academy and Weekly Challenge. Here we're taking a look at challenge number 233. If you'd like to follow along, please download the YXZP start file. Let's take a look at the output we're trying to create. So we're given some UFO sightings data. We'll create a report map for all the sightings from 2019 of various shapes. And then we'll create a top 25 table of the city and state with the most overall sightings in the data set. So we're given two data sets as inputs. We have the uscities.yxdb, which gives us the latitude and longitude, which we can use to put these cities and states on the map. And then the main data set here is just over 94,000 records of UFO sightings. And here we're going to use the shape for our report map to create different colored circles. The output, we're going to have a report header at the top above the map that says UFO sightings for 2019. And then we'll have our legend on the right-hand side and our top 25 table below. So starting with that 94,000 plus records of UFO sightings, we'll filter down to 2019 and create our report map. We'll then, in a secondary analysis, create a top 25 table with the overall activity, not just in 2019. And then using our reporting objects, we will bring them together with the layout tool and publish them as one report. So let's first talk about the report map. So we're not interested in all the UFO sightings, only the UFO sightings for 2019. So a couple different functions we could use here to filter our data to only 2019. Here I'm using the left function, looking at the left 4 characters on the date time and making sure that they equal 2019 for the year value. And we're joining that to the US cities YXDB. And where we have a match, so where the city and state are able to find a match, which is most of our records, we're able to get the latitude and longitude. There are some sightings that fall out of our join, so we're not able to actually match those to a latitude and longitude and therefore put them on the map. So we'll create a report map for the sightings where we do have the data points available. And the Create Points tool from the spatial category allows us to take the latitude and longitude and actually convert them to a spatial object called the centroid. And in the Report Map tool, we can take each of those spatial objects and put them on a map. So taking a look at the configuration of the Report Map tool, we'll go over to the Data tab. And our number one and only connection, we want to make sure that the thematic field is set to shape. So each of the different UFO shapes that get reported come through as a different color. And then we can customize those different shapes on the Layers tab. So we'll add a point for number one. And the point style, in the output we had a circle. So I'm just matching the output style. And then if we go to theme, the tile method for each of those different shapes that people report, we want to see a unique color assigned, and we want to use the color map. All right, so if we want to see what our report map looks like, we need to add a browse tool and hit the run button to render the map. So while this is running, we can take a look at the browse tool and expand our configuration panel, and we can see the report map that we've constructed. And in terms of adding a header above this map, we can do so with the report text tool. And no need to create a separate field. We can go ahead and just attach it above the map object. And that's it for the map. So we'll shift gears, go back to the raw data, pull it into a separate stream, and here using a formula tool, we'll create two new fields, one called city state, where we're concatenating the text together from those two fields to match how it's reported on the output. And then we'll also create a field called year. So there are a variety of different fields that we want to create in the output table. The first of which is just the total sightings for these top 25 city-state combinations. So summarize tool 2.2, just doing a simple group by and counting the overall total sightings. And the rest of the logic that we see in this container is really related to identifying the maximum sightings in one given year for each of the city-state combinations, and then identifying in what year that occurred. So in Summarize Tool 2.4, we're calling out the maximum number of sightings for each of the city-state combinations in our data set, and joining that back to the total sightings in our year grouping so we can identify the year in which that took place. And then finally, in Summarize Tool 2.7, we can roll this up to our final deliverable. So here, this is calling out the most active year and then the sightings in that active year. And we can join that back to our original grouping, which was a simple summarization of the total overall sightings in the data set. And then we want to keep the 25 city or city-state combinations with the highest total sightings. So we're sorting based on that field and then using the sample tool to keep the top 25 records. And this becomes our top 25 table. So attaching a table tool that we want to position below our map. So one way we can get these two reporting objects to neatly stack on top of one another is to make sure that they have the same field name. Add those tools to a union, and then have a layout tool that will take all those records and combine them vertically. So our final output, we've got one reporting object called the layout that we can render to any deliverable format. We have our report map on top with our header and our top 25 table down below. Thanks for following along. Hope you have a great week.
Thank you for learning with us today. Good luck on your Alteryx journey.
For more information on custom training, managed service automations, and more, please visit our website at abdataconsulting.com.